Welcome back to Squelch the Video Game Book Club. I'm Dano.
I'm Matador.
And I'm Storm Rage. And we're here to remind you the Dragon Age, the Veilguard, is a game. And games are supposed to be the fun.
This is an accurate statement. Welcome back, everybody. This game has been super fun. I've been enjoying it. This week, we are playing The Blood of Arlathan. So that is Unwanted Guests, Grim Bonds, and Blood of Arlathan. And then more companion quests, because this game is about the power of friendship. Specifically, we have completed the quest line for Harding, Lucanis, and Nev. All three of us have definitely done that. That is a thing we have all done. Don't read anything into what I'm saying. I definitely wasn't busy all weekend with family. It actually was great. It was actually a ton of fun, but couldn't play my video games very much, so fell behind a little bit. Storm Rage is the hero this week. The wind beneath my wings. He is covering for my failures. Next week, so the schedule is coming up is a little bit weird. So next week we're gonna play As Shadows Fall, which is The Words, The Wolf, Legacies and Legends, and For the Love of Treviso, as well as the companion quest for Bellara, Davrin, Emmrich, and Taash. So by that point, I think we will have all the companion quests done.
Yeah, so two things about this. This will probably end up being like our next 2 weeks, and we just don't exactly know how we're going to divide it because our scheduling is a little bit weird. The As Shadows Fall section is super short. You'll probably get all of those quests done in under an hour, but the companion quests, because there's 4 of them, will take a little bit of time. So there might be like As Shadows Fall plus the Bellara companion quests, or it might be plus Davrin, and then so like it'll be weird, but those are the things that we are planning to cover over the next 2 weeks.
And again, I want to point out that this game, Storm Rage is playing all the side quests, all the companion quests, and all the story quests ahead of time. I want you all to understand it's
pretty wild.
The expectations to reality. Like, if I almost feel like we need to like change the rubric and like give bonus points for expectations versus reality. Because I think, I think we all came in expecting at best, probably best case scenario, Andromeda, right? I think best case scenario.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate.
Which is, hey, this is a good game. You know, it could have certainly been better. I liked what we did. The characters were fun. The main character was great. I wish there was more. This is, I think, just head and shoulders above Andromeda.
It's better.
It's just a better game. And I'll say this as like a true diehard Dragon Age fan. I do believe, if you discount the first games of each of these series, I do believe Origins is better than Mass Effect 1. But if you discount those 2 games, which is kind of them figuring out what these games were, I think that this is the first Dragon Age game that like peaks over its like companion Mass Effect game, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think you could say that like 2 or Inquisition is better than Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3. Because those are just like incredible games. Both Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition are very good games, but Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 are true masterpieces. This game is just legitimately a good game. It's just blowing me away. As you could tell by Storm Rage, like playing ahead and like it's like here's what we need to do for
always wild
quests and side quests, and I'm out of stuff to play.
even comparing it to like Expedition 33, I loved Expedition 33, and I thought that there were many elements about it that were absolutely fantastic. But I also, like, I didn't have quite as much free time to play, but I also, like, when I hit the end point, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to play further. I don't really need to explore the side content. But in this game, every time I finish up a quest, I get another one. I go, okay, well, one more quest. And it
Yeah.
reminds me of like my World of Warcraft days where I was like, I'm going to do one more quest. And then one more quest turns into 3 hours. And you're like, all right, now I really need to be done.
Yeah.
There's something to be said. There's something to be said. Okay, I've done what I need to do. I'm gonna go back to the lighthouse, and then there's 17 more things to do. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. E33 really stumbled when it hit the final act.
100%.
Like, it didn't have any focus on where to go. And then a lot of the content just became like, are you good enough to complete this? Right? So,
Yep.
yeah, I'm enjoying this game just an absolute ton. It's truly blown me away how much fun I've had with this game.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Thank.
Yes, thank you to our patrons, to our Twitch subs, and to our YouTube listener, Clyde. Your support keeps this podcast ticking. If you want to support the show, head over to twitch.tv/DanOPlay or patreon.com/squelch. We thank all of you who are kind of helping us to play all these fun games and talk about them, because honestly, it is super fun. And your support means the world to us. Truly, truly the world to us.
This one's a real page-turner.
This game's got a lot to enjoy, whether you're a girl, them, or boy, but you need some lore to follow along, so we start by singing this song.
It's truly a good one. I like it. Storm Rage, 2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
the story so far, where were we? Oh, yes. So we have a group of adventurers who have come together to try and take down the evil elven gods Elgurnan and Gillenane. Put elven gods in quotations because they're really like, what if mages were so powerful they can become gods, which essentially they have. They were immortal and demanded to be worshipped. So, I mean, yeah, I got elven gods.
Yeah.
Last week, our group was dealing with the repercussions of a semi-successful fight at Weishaupt, where we were able to kill the archdemon but failed to kill Gillenane. So we moved to help out our companions in the hopes that it would focus their attention on the mission and also help the world by taking the power-hungry and the greedy down a peg. Something I think we all can agree on, taking the power-hungry and greedy down a peg, and also being nice to our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, Power of Friendship, the game. We helped Nev down in Minrathous so she can deal with the one true enemy, Aaliyah. We rescue a leader of the local gang and we're offered a deal to work with them in the future. We helped Lucanis finally get revenge on the Blood Mage Zara, who killed the Crow's matriarch, supposedly, and then locked Lucanis in the underwater prison. After defeating Zara, Lucanis' cousin Ilario, who is super sus, came in and killed Zara and used blood magic to pacify Lucanis. Not at all a weird thing to do. This guy
Nope.
has not been weird
Not-
the whole time. Nope, not one little
Totally
bit.
normal.
No one called this one at all. Back on the main quest, we went to an old Grey Warden's hideout, which kept some of the secrets too dangerous for others to know of their existence. We found out the Grey Wardens used griffins during the previous wars, but also called for their extermination when they became blighted. The Gloom Howler appeared and tried to kill us with some darkspawn, and then disappeared after telling us they plan on blighting the rest of the griffins they kidnapped previously. We eventually find out that the Gloom Howler used to be a Grey Warden, where something went wrong. I think they were also an elf. They were an elf and a Grey Warden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then we finally killed a couple of dragons. The dragons that went after the major cities of Minrathous and Treviso. Good job, us.
Yay.
Huzzah!
I knew him as soulless. Smart, thoughtful, loved to hear himself talk. But long ago, he had a different name. The Dreadwolf. Ancient elven god of lies, or heroic rebel against tyranny, depending on which story you believe.
Which store do you believe? We have an absolutely reliable narrator in Varric who has never once stretched the truth in any way, shape, or form.
No,
So let us
not
get
at all.
to our main quests. First off, we are starting with unwanted guests. Our friends in the Veil Jumpers tell us that something's going odd. There's been an increase in venatory activity in their area, which is the Arlathan Forest, not usually where the venatory go. And the Venatori are rounding up elves. Uh-oh, let's go searching. We go into the Arlathan Forest and we kill a bunch of Venatori. We find a Veil Jumper who we are able to rescue after finding a lot that we are not able to rescue. There's some cool puzzles where you have to match like the symbol that has that is on a pedestal to the proper order of the symbols up above, and kind of understanding how that mechanic works. I liked it a lot. I did it on accident the first time, and then I went, oh, I get it now. Dano?
The puzzle where one of the shields had fallen to the ground.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So clever. Again, the perfect video game puzzles because they're just fun. Like,
Mhm.
just the right amount of thinking, right? It's like, hey, I used my brain a little. Time to go kill some stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, huh, let me just match the symbols. It's like, oh, okay, this works. I don't want anything harder than this. This is perfect.
Yeah, and then the twist of so the symbols are up above, so you just look for the symbol, look for the pedestal, and then Dano mentioned that one of the times that the symbols that's supposed to be above has fallen down, and it's just like right below it, but you have to like look at it from the right angle to make sure that because there's a couple symbols that kind of look the same upside down. Really, really small little twist, but I liked it a lot. It was just at the right level of difficulty for me as well, where I don't really want to think, but I like to think that I'm smarter than I am, and that is a puzzle that does exactly that.
Yeah. You don't need a guide for this puzzle, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not had to use a guide a single time in any of these puzzles, which means they're perfect puzzles. Like,
Yes.
like I've had to think about some of them, and like I've thought like, ooh, I could go look this up, but I could figure this out on my own. And then I have. And then I'm like, oh, that's validating. I feel smart. They're not hard. Like sometimes it's just like, oh, in this case, sometimes you have to go and like find the little guys, and sometimes like the miniature version of it and match that up. Or it's like, oh, there are lanterns that light up when I spin this a certain way. Oh, I have to match all those up. It's perfect. It's just a perfect level. I'm so glad they're not going to make any more of these games.
What a truly terrible game.
So bad. These developers deserve all the hate they got. I tell you what.
Correct.
They really,
that is the
they had it
squelch
coming.
official statement.
They made a good game, the jerks.
Yeah, pretty rude. We eventually rescue one Veil Jumper but then we realize that there are a lot of Venatori here, and they have enough supplies, and they seem to be coming here in mass. And we decide to regroup and come back later. Next up, we have the quest Grim Bonds. Yes, Dana.
There is a real fun part here where if you chose where Rook could say something about like whether you come back or not. I think the humorous one was like, there's gonna be a lot of killing. And they're like, maybe we should not go in and fight this one. Maybe we should try to think about it. And we're like, oh, okay.
Weak sauce. Oh, just look, I've taken down a blighted dragon at level 50. I could take down the entire Venatori army. I'm not worried about it.
I mean, they're kind of doofy.
A little bit. Next up, we have Grim Bonds. We talk with the leaders of the Veil Jumpers, and they ask us for help because they have a lead on the Venatori. That's it. It's the entire quest. I do want to note that apparently when you go after this quest into Blood of Arlathan, it does lock out some side quests, but the only one that was specifically mentioned in the wiki was like, oh, and if you do this other quest, it'll just skip to the next part. So you might miss a little bit of background, but you won't miss the whole quest line. It's just like, well, this timeline doesn't make sense, so we'll move it to where the timeline does make sense.
I'm okay with that.
Big fan. I think that is, if you're going to gate quests and lock them out, I think that skipping to the next part is a natural way to make sure that people don't accidentally skip past something that they would want to play.
I also like maintaining a coherent timeline because I think the developers or the writers, whoever it was, they really did put a lot of thought into, well, why would they do this, all this extra stuff? right? Because like that is an inherent problem with RPG. We talked about this last week. We'll talk about it again right now. Like, it's an inherent problem with RPGs. Why would you ever side quest? Like, you're trying to save the world. I mean, I know Grandma needs to cross the street, but like, we gotta save the world. And so I do really enjoy that they put thought and effort into how the timeline makes sense, and also as to why we are doing our side quests and why we are doing our companion quests. Now, spoilers for when we play Final Fantasy VII they don't give you a reason why you're doing those side quests. They're just things to do. Yes, one of them is just hitting boxes.
Sometimes you just gotta hit a box.
I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I did it and made sure I got all the points in it because I have a problem.
Hey. The skateboarding mini game and the gold saucer in the original game was not the skateboarding, the snowboarding mini game and the gold saucer was probably the thing I spent most of my time on in that game.
I love the idea that like chocobo husbandry was like a major aspect of the game. And
yes.
If you didn't master chocobo husbandry, you couldn't get the best spell in the game. That's Final Fantasy at its best.
I would love to mock that, but I am also the person that did uncurse the shields after 500 enemies. So
Tell me it wasn't worth it to uncurse the shield, though.
It was, because then I didn't have to do like anything else, and I could actually finish the game. Otherwise, I legitimately don't think I could have finished it.
Hey, maybe uncursing the shield lifted something within you to allow you to do all the side quests in Dragon Age.
Maybe uncursing the shield uncursed your soul, and now you understand the magic of side quests.
I don't think that's it. So the blood of Arlathan. We end up meeting with the Veil Jumpers just outside of the Venatori camp, and there's too many to fight, which they underestimate my desire to murder Venatori, but fine. We also have some disguises, and we are given old Venatori uniforms. Nev is the most competent liar and most confident charismatically, so we say, Nev, you are in charge. Matt, then Dano?
So my favorite moment in this is like Bellara puts on the uniform and she's like, "Why is it sticky?" And it's like, that's blood.
And then
hopefully.
Also wonderful. I do believe Nev was brought along as well because she's an expert on the Venatori, which I think is the idea.
Yeah.
Also,
yes.
All of the Venatori are wearing masks, like fully hooded masks. You cannot see who they are. And yet we roll in. Nev Gallus being famous in Docktown, we all three roll in maskless. I'm like, why don't we just put masks on? Why don't we just have masks? And then we could like walk around and do whatever we want. I feel like this was we did a bad job of being sneaky.
also the fact that like Tav's just wandering around and there's no other Quinari in this group. They're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. It's like, all right.
It's fine. We don't need to worry about that. We move through the camp in old Venatori uniforms. We see the Venatori, generally speaking, being pretty terrible in doing things like torturing Nahala, which is basically like Dragon Age's version of Deer. There is one conversation, I don't know if you guys heard it, where there is a Venatori who's talking about wanting to be Rook's friend and is like, do you think Rook smells nice? And I loved this little moment so much. It's so dumb, but I love the idea that there's this Venatori who just wants to be friends with Rook, even knowing that they're on opposite sides.
Bellara has this really funny side comment where she's like, "Oh, Rook, do you want to go say hi?" or something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was really, really good. I love how the other Venatori are giving that Venatori like some like, what are you talking about? They're the enemy, so they could still be nice. It was really funny.
As we eventually make our way further into the Venatori camp, a Venatori stops our way, but Nev knows how to get past Venatori. Be incredibly rude and insensitive, and you know what? It works. We progress further into the camp. As we head further down, we all begin to hear Elgarnon's voice in our head. And we also realize that Gillenane is not currently here. A curious question as to where she might be. Elganon summons his archdemon, who is simply massive, like towerous. I think it is the biggest archdemon / dragon that we have seen in this game to date. It is huge.
Yeah, it's so big. It's like standing out of the water, and like its entire tail is like into the ocean. It's very much like
Yep.
It's like kaiju size. It's like it's basically
Yes.
like, I need to get like a mech to fight this thing.
I am so excited to fight this thing. It's going to take up so much of the screen.
It's gonna be an awesome fight. I just know it is.
I can't wait for the mech fight now.
Can we have the Pacific Rim soundtrack in the background when it happens too?
Oh, don't tempt me with too good of a time. We are briefly stunned by Elganon, who uses his magic to kind of time stop and speak directly into our heads. But thankfully, we have a group of mages who are able to work together and break the spell. But now Elganon knows where we are, and we have to run. Remember, our goal here is to find the lost Veil Jumpers, get them, and get out. It is not necessarily to take on this god of elves.
They're
Yes, Dana.
Dalish elves, right? They were not Veil Jumpers, they're Dalish elves.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, what happened is the Venatori gathered the Dalish elves so they could sacrifice them to.
Yeah. So
Thank
it's
you.
like
whatever
That is
ritual
correct. That is
Elgarnon
correct.
is doing.
So we start to sprint through the camp, searching for the missing Dalish elves, and fight so many Venatori. They're just everywhere, and they summon demons, and they are terrifying, and they are mean, and then there's like mechanical things. There's one point where we get trapped, and our allies are like laughably bad at getting the door open, so we just have to keep fighting more and more and more to open a gate. But you know what? It's a pretty fun time. It's some pretty fun combats.
I had Harding in the other party, and it was just like, there's so many gears, I don't understand what's happening. It's so good.
I had Davrin on the other side, who's just like, hey, how's it going? Good. We'll get it soon. Okay, you said that last time. Yep. Any better? Nope. So we eventually find ourselves in a trap. Elganon has created an illusion of the Fade, and we can only run around. We can keep running around in circles and keep running to what we think is the end point, but every time it simply teleports us back to the beginning. We continue again and again and again and end up in the same spot with Elganon taunting us. Solus manages to speak to us and helps us out of said trap. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, Solus is just in our head. He surely can't use any of that blood magic or magic while he's still trapped there, right? Assuredly not. He says, well, you're closer to the Fade, so I can help out. I don't know how much I believe that, Solus, you little sneaky dreadwolf boy. But regardless, he does help us out of this trap. At which point, Solus begins to taunt Elgarnon, which breaks Elgarnon's focus just enough that we can make our way to the captured Dalish elves. Solus tells Elgarnon things like the Blight will eventually take him and he cannot control it. Solus also acknowledges that Elgarnon is the most powerful of all the Evanuris, but also almost all the Evanuris are gone. And if that is true, he asks Elgarnon, why? Why is it that none of the others have come with you? Why is it that none of the others are building the great things that they used to? All you have is yourself and a master of monsters. And Elgarnon is quite flustered at all of this, but eventually Solus is able to give us a location of a hideout as we are able to find said Dalish elves and make it out. We later find out that Varric tells us that Elganon, who was upset at the Venatori for letting the sacrifice go, instead decided to sacrifice the Venatori.
There's some great during the fight, there's some like they're literally just having this taunting conversation at each other in Rook's head during the entire fight, and it's great because like it takes up the entire it's all the audio you hear, and there's like just this red ring around the side of the side, and then there's one moment where it's like, I think it's Nev goes, Rook, are you there? Are you there? It's like, I'm sorry, they're talking really loud in my head. I can't hear anything else. It's great.
Which is a delightfully insane thing to say to anybody at any point in time. Any other thoughts on this bunch of main quests?
I thought it was really fun. I thought the argument during the final fight was super fun, and super distracting at the same time, which was obviously the point. But I really enjoyed that quite a bit, and there's a very funny quest as well, I thought, because the Notori were obviously kind of like they're kind of doofy, like they're power hungry doofs, and which I enjoyed as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this quest quite a bit. And then there was a part at the end when we got to go back and talk with Solus and kind of be like, hey, thanks, or hey, I think you're still full of it, or which I thought was fun and interesting as well.
That's technically the first quest of next week.
Oh, I will be quiet.
I just really like that we got to see, because we've seen Elgranon talk about Solus. We've seen Solus talk about Elgranon, and to see them directly interact finally, I was like, oh, there is both a deep respect and also like, this is going to sound an absolutely insane sentence because it's not how language should work. There's so much respect that there is an undeniable hatred of one another, of like, you are incredibly powerful, you are incredibly competent, and I cannot let you do what you want for either of them. And so like Elgranon knows Solus is annoyingly right a lot of times and is annoyingly sneaky. And Solus knows that Elgranon is just going to wipe the floor with him in a direct fight. So they have to find ways to needle that. And I thought it was really well done.
There is a fun thing for next week, which is obviously next week, where it's like, he is so powerful, he makes him do stuff, and I'm so smart that I just show how I'm right. And it's like, do you hear yourself? Like,
yeah, yep. Do you see that maybe that the coin that you're holding has two different sides to it, and perhaps made of the same material, even if you dislike the concept behind that?
Is it possible that all these elven gods are bad and that absolute power corrupts absolutely? We'll find out.
Weird. From here, we'll move on into our companion quest lines. So we're going to start with Nev, and this will take us all the way through Nev's full companion until she gets the title of Hero of the Veilguard, which is the thing that we'll talk about at the end of this first little quest line, because I think it's a really cool mechanic within Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Nev has finally found out where her arch enemy that we learned about last week, Aelia, is. And you know what? It's time to save the city of Minrathous. We head to a tavern where we meet Reyna and some member of the Threads, which are the main gang left in Minrathous that are not the Venatori. They talk about where Aelia is at, and they agree that Aelia needs to be stopped. They also reveal information that Aelia has kidnapped a number of people to use in what is seemingly going to be a massively powerful blood magic ritual. Our Threads contact says he will help us get to the catacombs where this ritual will take place. We say, great, thanks, we'll see you down there. We make our way down there, and the contact is dead. Uh-oh. Thankfully, Nev just happens to know another way, which maybe means that we didn't need the contact at all. I don't know if I missed something here, but it was kind of a weird thing of like, we have to get down there. You have to help us out. And they went, okay, we're dead. Well, it's a good thing I know another way around. Okay, why didn't we just do that in the first place?
Right?
There are two instances in this week where I go, we probably should have had another pass at that writing section here. Tally has decided that it is time to squeak her wonderful wail, which is very loud, and I hope is not being picked up too much by the microphone.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely not. Don't worry about it at all.
Great. Thank you. I'm so sorry, listeners.
No, you're not.
Working our way through the catacombs, we eventually find the people that have been kidnapped. But they're being controlled. And if we break the hold over them, then they will die. We meet up with the threads and our friend, and we have a little brief conversation here because it is time to kill Aelia. We have to figure out what are we gonna do here. Tally, can I have this? So I can have just a second to finish. Tally, can I please have this? Tally, thank you. This is the adorable little thing. It's not a shark. It is a manta ray, and I do love it. It is adorable. It is going to stay in my hand for just a moment longer, and hopefully Tally won't move.
Yeah,
So,
she's definitely
before-
not staring right at it right now, like the saddest puppy eyes.
No, she's locked in. She's focused.
So we
This
have a
is a
brief
fun
conversation
game.
before we get into the fight. If you saved Minrathis, then Nev and her friend will have a much longer conversation about whether or not to choose hope or fear in order to inspire the people of Minrathis. If you didn't, then Nev won't have any of it and says that none of that matters. The only thing that matters is doing what it takes to save Docktown. So you do not get as much of an option. Then we head into the fight to confront Aelia, and it's a magic fight. It's a pretty cool little fight, and at the very beginning of it, you can choose, if you save Minrathis, that Nev should either protect Docktown or bring Docktown hope. If you didn't, then you don't get this option. Instead, you just go right into the fight itself. The fight is a kind of a different one. There's not like a boss at the end of it necessarily. It's just waves of Venatori and then floating crystals that you have to destroy. So you have to destroy crystals, then Venatoria, then it goes again, then crystals, then Venatori, then it goes again, so on and so forth.
I thought this was a cool fight because it was like the boss, quote unquote, is in a bubble in the middle of like the arena. And then it's just like the Venatori demons and like constructs come down and attack you, and then there's like those laser crystal puzzles where so like in between of like killing the Venatori, you have to go back, shoot the laser crystal puzzle, otherwise they'll just keep blowing up at you, and it's great.
And
then,
it's a very cool fight.
And then and after you do the first round, there's a little cutscene, and Nev shoots the bubble with her magic, and then it comes back, and then you do it again, and then repeat, wash, rinse, repeat 3 times. Like it's like a classic video game boss where you have to hit them 3 times and then they die.
I do like that this game is showing us why blood magic is bad. Because like in all the previous games, like, hey, blood magic is bad. We shouldn't do blood magic. Blood magic no good. And like it's like, oh yeah, because you can like do some powerful stuff with blood magic, but like everyone we know that's on blood magic has kind of used their own blood and so it's like, well, what's the big deal? They're just being more powerful. And like in Dragon Age 2, we have like where the dragon is located at those caves and stuff. There was like all those those corpses that they claim were used for blood magic. So that's like the only time we've really seen it. But in this game, it's like this is what blood magic is bad, because like you need a like Olympic sized swimming pool of blood to do some of this stuff. And there is a person bathing in it before they cast their spell, and blood magic bad. You're like, oh, I get it now. I get why bad. I get, yeah. So I do like a lot that they kind of, it's like, here, this is why it's a bad thing. Because like, yeah, like good people can do good things with it a little bit with it if they want to use their own blood as a power source. But also like, very, very bad because, they'll just take the blood from 100 people to do something crazy powerful. So
Yeah, turns out bad.
Yep.
Very
Yep.
bad.
Yep. I did want to let everyone know that Stormrage very cleverly threw the whale or the manta ray out into the other room, and then Tally ran out, got it, and then ran right back into the room. It was very funny, and I enjoyed it immensely.
And I have muted my microphone while you guys have been talking, and every time so far I have unmuted, she's decided to squeak up until this time. So I'm going to take advantage of this and hope that she is done and move on to describe the end of this quest line. Aelia is defeated. If we decided to make a deal with the threads in our quest we did last week, then Aelia is, quote unquote, taken care of. If we refuse that deal, then Aelia is instead taken into custody, where she remains in prison. We talked to Nev afterwards, who is settling in and kind of feeling good about how things have wrapped up by and large. And if you saved Minrathis, then you get an additional scene where you talk about how if you wanted Nev to be an inspiration, then Nev and not Rook. I've written Nev and her friend form a detective agency, which I thought that they already did, but you know what? I'll buy it. Fair enough. Another detective agency. Big fan. And then if Nev wanted to become the protector, then instead Nev becomes the leader of the Threads, the gang that we have worked with throughout this quest line, and instructs the other Thread leaders to work with the Viper and the other Shadow Dragons. So it kind of just depends on which way you want to go. If you didn't save Minrathis, then you have to have another conversation with Nev about having to do the difficult things in which you will become the protector regardless. And this will lead you one way or the other to the Hero of the Veilguard status. And this is a super cool thing that they have added into this game, where once you unlock a certain level of their quests, once you've completed their quests, all things have been hit, you get a unlock of an armor piece that is unique and a legendary status that gives them a permanent effect. And you also unlock a new passive ability that applies permanently. So there's one where it's like Harding's healing triggers at 20% more, and whenever somebody else heals, like something else happens. But there are always benefits for completing that and earning this status of Hero of the Veilguard.
That's super cool.
Have you reached the end of a companion quest yet, Dano? Have you gotten this Hero of the Veilguard yet?
Nope. So I was almost done with Nev, so I had this last quest to do, but I was like, oh, but I have this other quest that I have to get done as well. And so I should go ahead and get that one done first. I'm like, I don't want to like lock myself out of like a quest because if I finish her up, so I had like a Shadow Dragons quest to do. So I was like, I'll do the Shadow Dragons side quest first, and then I'll get to this one. Never did get a chance to get to this one. And in fact, when I finished the Shadow Dragons quest, part of that was to go talk to Nev about her opinion on something. And she goes, I don't really know what you should do. And then that little pop-up window comes up and says, Nev is still overwhelmed with her own business that she can't give you any advice. Now I was like, did that one out of order. It wouldn't have changed my choice anyways, and you'll all find out why shortly.
I am trying to find out what Nev's kind of resulting thing is.
Because you don't get it because she is like hardened.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
will get it regardless, but you don't get to choose if they're hardened.
Oh, okay. So I wonder if I'll be able. I have a couple. So next week I definitely want to revisit this. Remind me to, because I told her that we're not gonna like work with the Threads. So I wonder if she can even become leader of the Threads or not, or if I lock that out. So I have a couple of questions about how this quest is going to finish up. So
I'm very curious, Matt.
Mine was different. She didn't become leader of the Threads, but she is protector of Docktown. Her cop friend is been fired, and she's no longer on the
Templar force,
the Templar cop force anymore. The leader of the Threads is dead somehow from like some sort of gang warfare happening. And a bunch of the people that were in like the rooms for blood were like Threads people, like the blood magic chambers. They were Threads people. So it's different. It's a lot of it is different. And the fact also I had hardened as well, so I didn't have many choices to make. So and also I'm romancing Nev. So there is a lot going on.
I don't think you could romance Nev if you so I think you can keep trying, but I don't think you can actually.
No. You can't romance Lucanis if you save Minrathis, but you can romance Nev.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was because I got the whole scene where she's like where you're like on the docks and you're grabbing rocks and she's trying to figure out the case, and then you're tossing rocks and then she figures it out, and that moves into this section.
So to give an example of the kind of level up that this has at the final stage, so if you end up being the Protector of Docktown, Nev gets Winter's Wrath, which increases Nev's critical damage by 50% more damage, increases Nev's ability damage against low health enemies by 25%, and decreases Nev's ability damage cooldowns by 20%. So just a flat, pretty significant buff. And then if you do the other one, it's Cold Justice, which increases maximum chilled stacks by 1, chilled effectiveness by 2%, and increase frozen duration by 100%.
Chilled and frozen is so incredibly powerful, by the way. It is insanely powerful.
Also, with like when you get the hero of the Veilguard, you also get their legendary armor set as well.
And it's pretty nutty.
It's really good.
Continuing on into the Harding companion questline. After Harding has kind of experimented a little bit more with their magics, they get word that Stalgard, something has happened with Stalgard, and she wants to go check it out. So we do. We head into the deep roads. The very, very, very deep roads that we have been in so many times in this series. We find signs of a dwarven camp. We're in the right spot. Time to head even further. Eventually, we find a dwarf that has been trapped in red lyrium. Harding uses her stone magic in order to free the dwarf. And the dwarf is totally fine and tells us that Stilgard went out but never came back. And then they just kind of woke up here. They don't remember what happened in between. We explore the caves. There's so much exploration until we eventually get down all the way, and there is a Titan's Heart that is down here, similar to what we saw in Dragon Age Inquisition. Yes.
A Titan's Heart and a rib cage.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like the inside of the like you're standing on the liver, honestly, of the Titan.
It's
like,
gross. Pretty cool.
It's super cool.
We find and save Stalgard, who tells us that we shouldn't have come, but hey, we're heroes, we do it anyway. Harding pushes us forward all the way till we get to the actual inside of the Titan's Heart, when we approach a figure that looks exactly like Harding emerges, and it's the Titan's Shade. It's the Titan using the image of Harding in order to communicate with us. Enraged, the Titan's Shade tells us that they ruined them. They broke them, referencing the Evanuris that did shatter and tear the Titans apart. Harding feels the Titan's rage, and Harding actually loses herself in the rage and is unable to help Rook for a time. Rook gets to fight a giant golem and a bunch of darkspawn and a bunch of things going on, and at the end of it, Rook moves towards Harding in order to help. And Rook can either encourage Harding one of two things. One, Rook can encourage Harding to make the rage her own rather than let the Titan's rage overwhelm her. Or Rook could also remind Harding about her compassion and instead abandon that rage and focus on who she is as a dwarf. If romanced, Rook also embraces Harding at the end of this, but is overwhelmed by the lyrium and passes out. Harding eventually saves them both by using her stone magic to pull the lyrium out of Rook, where both end up being weak but alive. Back at the lighthouse, Harding thanks Rook, and Rook greets Harding with a "what's shaping," which I think is a line that was used in Dragon Age Origins. And Harding goes, "No one said that in 20 years," which I love, calling out your old slang and trying to be like the cool kid and clearly not working. Really fun little piece of dialogue there. And Harding muses about Solus and has wondered like how he has been trapped by his guilt and hurt, and she hopes that we can show Solus a different way. The rest technically happens after our main quest here, but I'm going to finish it because there's not really a good way to come back to this, so we're just going to finish the quest line. If you haven't gotten past this, then fast forward like 60 seconds. Harding goes back to visit the place where we just were and mentions that the heart of the Titan is no longer in pain, so everything feels at rest. If Rook helped soothe the anger through compassion, then we actually see a scene where Stalgard has brought his sister, who is a shaper and wants to learn about what happened so she can document it in their histories. Harding kind of opens herself magically so that way they can view her memories, and the three of them bond and all see this together. But at the end of it, Harding concludes that it is the time of the dwarves and that they have to leave the Titans in the past. If, instead, Rook focused on rage, then Harding wants to return to bid farewell to her ancestors and focus on that. And she is spoken to by Shaper Volta, or formerly Shaper Volta, now the Oracle. And Volta says that destruction is change. And Harding agrees and feels confident in what she must do. No matter what you do, both scenes end with the eternal hymn of Isentunol, which we've heard a couple of times. I'm not going to repeat it because it's a bit long, but it is kind of the thing that we have heard repeated, and it is a dwarven hymn. Really, really cool quest line here. I think I'm the Matt. Did you get to finish this?
I didn't get. I didn't get the post, like getting the veil. I did the compassion choice.
Mm-hmm.
I just got the hey, let's go visit the dwarves again quest. So
Dano.
I haven't completed this one yet, like any of them, but I think either option, obviously there is still more story to be told, and I can't wait for the DLC that
it would be such a great DLC. Can you imagine?
That examines the Titans further, right? I think that's
Yeah.
really, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be so good. Like we already, like honestly, the Dwarven DLC was an absolute banger in Inquisition. So I imagine one that like tries to like figure out the history and the future of the Titans will be even better. So I can't wait to see this team get to do more work on this this DLC and others. So yeah.
I just want to say this is my favorite version of the Deep Roads. By far.
I would agree with that.
Oh, I don't know. I loved the deep roads in Inquisition. That's a really, with all like the pulleys that go up and down, and the fact that you can like hop around, and then like the cool, amazing bridges that have no business staying up. I love that deep roads.
They're too busy. There's too much going on, and that stupid first fight against the ogre that had more health than God.
Okay, we're not talking about the ogre, because yes, that ogre was ridiculous. But like the actual scene, like the actual like art of that deep roads, and like the like just like the canvas that you couldn't get to, like the parts of the deep roads that are beyond reach, and then that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I don't know.
Our last companion that we're going to wrap up their story is Lucanis. Lucanis speaks to Emmrich and says, "Hey, Emmrich, we've got Zara's corpse. Can we talk to her?" And Emmrich goes, "Yeah, that seems like a great idea. Let's do that. Thank you, characters, for doing the most logical thing with the information that you have. Excellent work. Let's see if we continue that." Zara says, as she has been risen up through her corpse, Zara says that Ilario intended to kill Lucanis for the Venatori, but Zara is the reason that Lucanis was actually kidnapped instead of imprisoned. That Lucanis was kidnapped and imprisoned rather than dead. So Zara's kind of the one we should thank for Lucanis being alive, and Ilario we should blame for trying to get him killed. We also learned that Ilario did not order the Venatoria to kill Katarina. Intriguing. I wonder if that will come back. And also, we learned that Ilario's blood magic was a gift from Elgranon. All right, this confirms everything that we could have possibly imagined about the person that has been incredibly obvious with everything that they've had so far. If Treviso was saved, then Lucanis has information from Tea and Viago, so we go visit them. They believe that Katarina is alive because they found her ring in the trash, which is impossible through an accident. Like, either the assassins would have taken it or she would have kept it with her. Like, there's no way that this would have happened. So we decide that there must be some way for us to save Katarina. But as we're talking about it, spite takes over Lucanis's body and demands Rook help them. Well, we say, yes, let's go, and we head inside Lucanis's brain, or his dream state, and we get to explore a dream version of the other underwater prison. We talk to various enemies and friends, all of whom are like dream versions of themselves that taunt Lucanis for his weakness. Eventually, after going through several doors, we find Lucanis himself, and Lucanis here is terrified to leave. and Spite is angry that Lucanis stays here. Rook suggests that they work together through a singular goal, and you can either suggest that they work together in order to stop Ilario, or work together in order to save Katarina. They agree that through a similar goal, they will be able to bond better, so they agree, and we are pulled out of this dream state, and where we see Taya and Viago go, hey, why did you just stop talking for like several seconds? And we go, don't worry about it, it's all good. There is then a call of all the houses within the Crows, because they are going to assign a new first Talon, or leader of the Crows, since Katarina is dead. I use air quotes just in case. Ilario is going to make a play for the first Talon, so we need to stop them, but we need to go in a sneaky way. We fight a bunch of Venatori, and we eventually find Katarina, who is, surprise, surprise, still alive. And she tells us that she is going to see Ilario and put an end to this. We tell her to be safe. We barge in on the assembly of the Crows, and Ilario tells everyone that he is going to be first Talon. Lucanis would like a word, sir. Ilario tries to use blood magic to pacify, but the bond between Spite and Lucanis has now grown too powerful, and they cannot overwhelm both of them. We fight. It's a very fun fight where Ilario jumps around constantly and is a really annoying little rogue, but I think it is a good example of what a rogue should do during a fight. Dano.
Speaking of Spite and Lucanis, I'm glad that we made the bond between them unbreakable, because that's never ever ended poorly in a Dragon Age game. Anders cough Anders.
It's fine.
Are you saying that there might be that this bond between them might create some sort of balm of their minds that would result in positive affirmations?
I think Balm of Their Minds is a fantastic name for the upcoming DLC.
Oh, what a great idea!
I hate.
But you got to throw.
so
You
much.
have to throw a crow pun in there though. So it'd be like, it's like balm and I don't know. I'll workshop it. I got to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. You
Best
had
of
a
luck.
great start there, man.
Yeah.
I was intrigued.
I do. If you are wondering, wait, what is the name of this specific quest? Of course, it's called A Murder of Crows. It's perfect, and it's exactly what it needs to be.
Yep.
At the end of the fight, Lucanis is given the choice to either forgive Ilario or imprison him. Katarina comes into the assembly and says, hey, everybody, I'm still alive, and Lucanis is going to be first Talon. If Lucanis was hardened, then Ilario will always go to prison, and there's no way to forgive him. And Lucanis is eventually promoted to first Talon. Yay! If Lucanis is hardened, he tells Rook that once the contract is complete, he will look for a way to separate him and Spite. If he is not hardened, then they have a conversation where Spite and Lucanis celebrate their bond, and Lucanis orders Spite a coffee, to which Lucanis says, Spite says, smells like Lucanis. He's very unsure about the idea of coffee, but he sits there and he smells it. And Rook asks Lucanis about his new first Talon status. He says most people are warming up to it, even though he knows that he is an abomination. He's glad that Katarina is doing well, and Katarina is being unbelievably mean to everybody except for Taya, because Katarina loves Taya, which, great, yes, I'll here for it. And Lucanis sips his coffee and says, when I was in prison, I dreamed of many things. And Rook says, oh, I bet you dreamt of coffee. And he said, I did. And you know what? If this is my life, I'm happy with it. And it's a very small moment, but it's a beautiful moment where we get to see Lucanis kind of come to terms with his trauma, come to terms with the many, many things that have been going on. And I am a big, big fan.
Yeah. So since you had a unhardened Lucanis, did you choose to imprison or set Ilario free?
It is insane to me that set Ilario free is an option. I said that there are two instances of the writing that I was like, I'm not sure here, guys. The first I already talked about. The second is that I can't kill Ilario. What?
Right.
We've killed a lot of people for way worse. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like execution or imprisonment should be the two options, not
Yep, I would agree.
Yep.
like freedom.
Yeah,
Like
I would have chosen I chose imprisonment because like that's the only option, and like if it was execution, I probably would have like chosen that.
I am not gonna
'Cause-
lie. So after hearing this, like the hardened options for Lucanis, I feel like those are just the right options. Of course, you should try to not stay like an abomination. That's bad. And then also, yeah, you shouldn't free the murderer. Like it's just like
I've come around to I actually am down with Spite and Lucanis resolving their
Mhm.
differences and working together. I see that storyline and I am here for it.
yeah,
But-
it does seem sweet.
Yeah, the whole well,
Well-
I could just forgive him. What?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, actually the scene in Lucanis's mind where like Spite is trying to like, no, we need to get like this dude needs to like figure it out. Like we need to like get Lucanis out of his own head because we're not working together but correctly. And then like you go in and it's very much like you're just telling like all these projections that Lucanis is putting out like, no, this isn't the real you. This is where you need to be. And it's really, really good. It's very well done. And I just love the whole section of this part of like you're on the Treviso rooftops. You're going like all over Treviso, and it rules. It's so much fun.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Much.
What is our first good?
I love seeing the continuing ripple effects of choosing Treviso over Minrathous or Minrathous over Treviso. Because Dano, we're going to talk about a quest next week that you did that is only available, I'm pretty sure, if you chose to save Minrathous. And last week we talked about the kind of the couple that were able to flee out of Treviso because I saved Treviso, the differences in how Lucanis and Nev interact. And I think that it is just the right level where it doesn't feel like there is one correct choice and one wrong choice, nor does it feel like there is a mechanic need to do one or the other. But it just kind of continues to hit just enough that I really want to play this game again and see what it feels like to save Minrathous instead of Treviso.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really fun about it as well because it made me approach the characters differently as well, because all of your companions, including the warriors, have a heal effect. The warriors have a limited heal effect that like it's a taunt, then like you can like spec that into having a small heal after the taunt effect is over. But then the rest, both your rogues and your mages have a heal unless they're hardened, and then they do more damage. And so like it also affects how I put together parties. And like so now like Emmrich and Lucanis are like, they just go together like peanut butter and jelly. And they are such a fun duo. And so I got Emmrich doing the healing and Lucanis just like mowing down every single mage. Like he is just an absolute mage destroyer. Like his ability to like just to blow through a barrier is awesome. Like it is, it's the first thing I do when I run across mages is just like have Lucanis do his like barrier destruction. And it's so much fun.
As a rogue and with me and Lucanis, like, and then we have like basically it's me, Lucanis, and Nev, like just about most of the time, and we do so much damage together. It is insane.
Yeah, I don't have a main party. I just pick whoever I think would be good for the quest. And then I have team ups usually. I usually have like team ups. So Nev and Harding usually roll together. Lucanis and Emmrich usually roll together. And then like my two other warriors, I'll usually bring Harding along with Davrin. Especially because I'm going against Darkspawn, then like having like Harding's ability to kind of chew through armor as well as Davrin's is really good. And then at this point, like Taash is basically only along when I'm doing either quests for her faction or there's a dragon. I honestly don't really use her much for anything else. I don't think she's a super powerful character, but
I love using her invulnerability because she can give you invulnerability and also increase damage and also a little bit of a heal afterwards. So when I just want to do something stupid, I'll bring Taash so I can I'm going to get into the giant group of things and cast an AoE. And if I wasn't invulnerable, I'd be dead. But thanks to Taash, I've got enough time.
yeah, she's great in dragon fights when like you're like, okay, I'm just gonna stand here at the foot of this dragon that is like its current weakness. I'm gonna hit invulnerability, and then I'm just gonna go to town on this stupid foot for a little while.
Yep.
This purple spot. Yep.
What's our not so good, Matt?
The not so good. It's a real big not so good. It's a real strong desire to go back to the lighthouse after every quest, just to see the interactions between the teammates and see if there's any like yellow exclamation mark bubbles that are new there. Like, I just want to see everything. Like, it's just it takes so much time to go back to fast travel back there and be like, oh, there's some new things. I got to run over here. It's like I could blow through the game, but no, there's so much content and so many fun character interactions. Like Harding trying coffee for the first time, like, and going, yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, it was really
Sorry.
funny. It was really
Yeah.
She tries
it's
so
warm.
hard.
I like that it's warm.
Yeah. And yeah, it's great. I love it so much.
I like
the
the
best one.
arguments, and you're gonna choose a side, or you can like have them like both see that they're both
Oh.
right and both wrong, and then you get approval from both of them.
Oh, Emmrich and Tav had the funniest moment where it's like, okay, Emmrich, I promise I will not call you a skull.
Yeah,
liker,
Taash.
skull
Yeah. I did. There was a conversation between Nev and Harding that I wandered up to. It was just one of they'll have like just conversations that happen in the lighthouse that you can walk up to and eavesdrop. It's not like part of anything. And Harding and Nev were talking, and Nev was like, "Oh, I saw you reading up on the Lords of Fortune recently." And Harding was like, "Yeah, well, there are allies, so I feel like I should really get to know them better." And they're like, "Oh, there's not a certain Canary that you might be interested in learning more about?" To like further the storyline of Taash and Harding getting together, which I 100% behind.
Oh, like or the fact that like Harding and Taash is like, you were looking at my legs, and
Yes.
Harding's like, from my angle, you're all legs.
Yep. It was so good. That was talk about that last. It was so funny. I got the best good this week, and it is a blighted dragon fight. So there is a quest line called the Heart of Corruption, which is a quest line that takes place both in and out of the crossroads. So we have to collect McMuffins from blight boils, essentially. We kill a big boss guy, and then we get a McMuffin. We take the McMuffin to the crossroads, and we put it in its little McMuffin spot, and we need 3 of them for this one. So we kill 3 specific, like, bad guys out in the real world that give us McMuffins to go to open up a passage in the crossroads. And each of these leads to a different fight. So there's 3 fights. There's 4 fights total this quest line. Well, actually more because we have the McMuffins. But within like the crossroads portion of it, there are 3 big fights that we have to have. So there is, and there's 3 different like revenants essentially. So super powerful undead, and they are crazy powerful. Like they're so powerful that I had to essentially respec, because with one of them I was like, it was a level 40 boss, and I was level 40, and I could not even get past phase 2. Like, it was insane. So I went and I spec'd out of fire and spec'd into a Captain America shield throwing build that does necrotic damage. And the shield does multiple bounces, and the shield also does necrotic damage. And your shield, when your shield does necrotic damage, it heals you. So I essentially am a self-heal tank that deals like insane necrotic damage, and it is super duper fun. It was a build I was thinking about earlier in the game that I went in to do the just went with the the storyline. I'm like, oh, I'm a warden. I'll do the Grey Warden. I'll do a build, but then like I just struggled with it, and it's the one that requires all the blocking, and I just was not great with it, and it got even more difficult when I raised the difficulty level. And so now I'm just basically like throwing my shield around, doing distant necrotic attacks, and then like diving in and doing like some melee stuff. It's super duper fun. So you kill these 3 dudes, and then you put the McMuffins they give you into another McMuffin spot. And then this takes you to the final source of corruption in the Crossroads. So all of this is basically, so the Evanuris, specifically, the Evanuris are trying to blight the Crossroads in order to gain access to the Crossroads. Because right now, Solus's magic and holding the Crossroads is too powerful, but they have both the Antom and the, blanking on them, the Venatori, going into the Crossroads and blighting the Crossroads. And then they have these what they essentially were old allies that Solus double-crossed or were allowed to die for the greater good. And then they blighted and corrupted them, and then we had to kill them to gain access. And they're using this kind of like corruption of these former allies of Solus that they have corrupted to corrupt the Crossroads so that they could take advantage of it. So we kill them, and that leads to the source of corruption, which is a level 50 blighted dragon. And this fight is absolutely insane, especially when you just spec'd into a corruption, into a necrotic build. Thankfully, there is a ring that I have that turns my necrotic damage into fire damage, and so I slip that bad boy on whenever I'm gonna go fight some darkspawn, and then it's pretty fantastic. Super tough fight, super fun fight, crazy boss. It was one of those where like you just kind of feel super good at video gaming when you're able to kind of take it. I was level 40 when I killed it, and I felt like a legitimate hero. It was such a tough fight. It was such a good fight. These dragon fights are really fun. They're all very similar, but like the artwork is different, and then like the phases are slightly different. And now that I have the shield throw, I can like hit the shield and do like crazy damage at a distance from them when they're perched, which is super fun. So
if you weren't a big meanie to Mithra, who is the spirit that Dano said, I don't believe in gods, so I'm going to kill you and take your essence, then she will transform into a dragon and take out about half of the blighted dragon's health in this fight. So she'll come in, attack it, and then kind of like that's her last moment.
Oh, that's so cool, but it would have stole my glory.
I also still felt pretty cool killing this thing.
So what you're telling me is I made the 100% correct choice, because I got 150% more dragon fight than you did, because
that is correct.
Fought her when she was a dragon, killed her, and then got 50% more dragon fight. So again, correct call. 150% more dragon fight.
Yeah, but you don't get the sword that does 0 physical damage and like all like elemental damage.
I don't even think that's a very good sword.
It does a lot. It does a lot for me.
Speaking of swords, Storm Rage, you did the Grey Warden treasure hunt quest, right? Like where you went and like opened up the Grey Warden treasures early on.
That sounds right. I remember doing all quests at one point, so yeah.
So it was at the Lords of Fortune area. It was like after you get Taash.
Yes. Yep.
So did you get the sword from the Dragon Age 2 lady, the Red Lyrium sword? Did you get that?
No, I don't think so.
Neither did I. The wiki says it exists. The wiki says that you're supposed to get 3 things from those treasure chests, and one of them is Templar whatever's sword, and it's the Red Lyrium sword. and I'm super annoyed that I didn't get it. And I'm like, did they take it out of the game? Was it never in? Did I miss it somehow? So yeah, but anyways, the Blythe Dragon fight was super fun. The Revenants were super fun. Like killing the world bosses was super fun. Like every single step of this was a lot of fun. It was like boss fight on boss fight on boss fight, and every one of them was a little bit different. A little bit different flavor, but then similar as well, like similar archetypes for certain things. So like the world bosses had similar archetypes, the Revenants had similar archetypes, and the dragon archetype, but they all had different things. Ton of fun, super fun quest line, super fun fight. Again, like this game just keeps on hitting, honestly.
It's good.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
I will ask myself 3 questions.
Matt, what are you liking so far?
How much I just enjoy exploring the areas and like just finding the little like in between quests and hearing people talk as I walk by them, you know. And they basically what they did is they took what was great about Dragon Age 2, where they kind of just take all the areas and you just kind of revisit them regularly, and other stuff opens up, and it's so good. It's really, really good. I love it so much. Stormrage, what are you liking so far?
Every quest makes me want to play more. And it's wild, but every time I go, oh, this is a new place. Oh, this is a new thing. Oh, this is a new thing. It's just, it's more compelling and more engaging. And I've yet to finish a quest and gone, I didn't really need to do that. It's just fun. Dano, what do you like it so far?
The quest lines have conclusions that feel good. Like, so there was a quest line where we stumbled upon a door that wasn't supposed to be there in like the lords of the necromancer zone. I forget what they're called. And it's like, oh, then like these demons appear out in the real world and we have to go kill these demons. And so we kill them and they all have the same voice. And we have to kill these demons. We go back to the door, and the door is open now. And then we go into that door, and it is a demon who has possessed a dragon. That is very fun, and is very fulfilling. And it is pretty simple quest line with a super cool conclusion. And there are a ton of these out there. And so you really are encouraged to, like, you don't feel, like you just said, there's no disappointment at the end of a quest. You don't complete a quest and go, I just smashed boxes for 5 minutes and I was 1 box short and now I have to do it again in order to get the upgrade for the bat weapon I'm never going to use. But like, feel like I need to do it anyways because I'm here. There's no filler. It all just feels good. Like there's no filler quest. That's truly amazing. It's like, I can't think of a single filler quest.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Matt, what are you struggling with?
There's so many companion quests. There is so many, like every time, like I just like do a thing and then I'll come back and there's like 7 companion quests somehow, and I only have 6 companions. Like it's like the thing where I have to come back. I feel compelled to go back to the lighthouse because I don't want to feel like I miss anything, but also like, oh, you know, it's like it's just everybody has something, and it's just like if I wasn't as invested in this game, I would probably be like, these people. I always want something from me. But I love it. It's so much fun. It's great. What are you struggling with, Stormrage?
I can't believe I can't kill Ilario. It's so
Shocking.
crazy to me. It's so wild that I can't kill Ilario. But
No,
Lucanis is adamant of like he's too close to me. I've grown up with him. I will find a way to forgive him. I cannot kill him. And I'm like, all right.
To be fair, he does say like Katarina will probably make him wish he was dead.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah. So,
Dano, what are you struggling with?
Summer has been too much fun. We're having too many fun things to do, and I don't have enough time to play the video game I want to play. It's very frustrating. Like, yeah, I want to go to an amusement park with my family and family we have in town from Seattle, but that means I can't play Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's just, why is this game so much fun? We should have played a boring game during this super fun summer I'm having. And instead,
I know.
I'm having a super fun summer and playing a super fun video game.
We should have done Final Fantasy VII Remastered instead of
We
that.
should have, because that main story is very good and all the side quests are bunk. That is a game. I want to play that game just for Storm Rage to be like feel vindicated about side quests, because like you're gonna feel really good about being a side quest skipper when we play that game, because like they didn't even pretend those are worth your time.
But how do you determine who goes with you up in the gold saucer and in the anyway?
You don't even go to the gold saucer.
There hasn't
in
been
the
a
first game.
single. I'm just now realizing there's not been a single fetch quest of like go here and get 5 of these things.
No.
Every quest has been important.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really good.
Now, what if every side quest was a fetch quest, Storm Rage? Let me tell you about the missing cats.
Let me tell you about how much I'm not gonna do that.
The main story is very good though, but boy, they phoned it in hard with those side quests.
So Square, got it.
Yeah. What surprised you about the game, Matt?
I hit a 9,999 today.
Ooh,
on a
hot
construct. On one of those constructs in like the Nev companion quest, like it was up on the right, and I just bowed it, and I got all 3 triggers on my bow, and like all 3 like charges on the bow, and I hit it. And it did a 99999 or like the quad 9, and I literally jumped out of my chair like, oh my god! And then like. Yeah, that's what surprised me like on the game. The fact that it was possible is great. I love it. Storm Rage, what surprised you?
I love the hero the Veilguard mechanic. I think it's cool that there's 2 different choices for each of the heroes. They've often done a finish the quest line for your companions, get a new piece of armor, but it's not had a mechanical effect in previous games to my knowledge, and I'm a big fan of that. I like that they added in a passive. I think that the whole way that it functions is really well done, and a kind of a fun evolution of what BioWare consistently does well, which is good companions. Dano, what surprised you?
It's such a good game. It's just such a good game. It's
Yeah.
No words. It's just very, very good. It truly shock. I cannot wait till we finish this up so I can go read the salt, because I cannot wait to read some of the user reviews of this game. Like, I don't see how you would dislike this game unless you get like obsessed with like a lore rabbit hole that you don't like, or you're like so red pilled that you can't enjoy life. I don't see how, and like even the lore stuff I don't think is good unless like I'm not so far into lore that I read the books. So maybe if you read the books, then it does lose continuity. So maybe that's where it lives. Maybe that's the problem. If you're like super into the lore, it does. But like if you live within the video games alone, I don't see how the lore is problematic whatsoever. So yeah, it's just a good game. It's just a good game.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Raid, sell the game to a friend.
We're going to be the true heroes of the Veilguard.
Matt.
I've played for 46.8 hours, and I'm not ready for it to end.
And for me, cannot wait for the DLC.
God.
That's it for this week. Next week, we veil the guards in Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Thank you all so much for listening. Thanks to our Twitch subs. Thanks to our patrons. Thanks to our YouTube listener, Clyde. You can find a link to our Discord, links to support this podcast in the description of the episode.
Dragon Age Veilguard is a game, and games are meant to be fun.
Yeah! And don't forget, elven gods are only gods if you call them gods, baby.
This is the end of the show. Everybody bye!
I was chilling on the interwebs just this afternoon. International gaming, Poland, worldwide news. I tab out to Twitter, see a post from Hat, another post from
I got
Hat,
nothing to say.
another post from Hat. But wait, what's this? Blizzard
I mean, there's only just so many times where like just talk about how good the game is.
Right?
Every side quest I've been on, I've had a good time. I've had a good time with the combat. The combat is interesting enough that I'm genuinely excited about going through and playing again and trying out Rogue or Warrior. Dano, the way that you talk about Warrior makes me want to play Fighter for the first time in a Dragon Age game. And it just, there's so many cool things.
I want to respec just to like try out the other two Rogue builds. Like the
I
the
respec
jumper.
all the time. I heavily encourage you to do
Really?
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I've just been doing the duelist build and I'm having a ton of fun because it's a lot of like it's like Vanguard but with knives. It's great.
I would say that I probably swap up my entire build once a session. Like, I have gone back and forth between the crows, the shadow dragons, and the necromancer build so many times, just because they each offer something very, very different in their play styles. They are good against different enemies. It's just all great.
Yeah, I pulled up the Steam reviews, and people are there's one review, 121 hours on record, posted on July 20th. The writing is terrible. Rook is not interesting at all, and I'm like, what? The writing's not terrible.
Disagree.
Yeah,
Like, there are parts of the writing that I think aren't great, but by and large, it's pretty dang good.
yeah. I mean, I honestly, I think people think that they're supposed to dislike the game.
Yeah.
I don't understand how I don't know how you could just play this game in good faith and have a hard time and not like it.
I agree.
We had a couple writing quibbles that we talked about in this episode, but like, it's like, but it was also like we had to make a choice somehow. Like we had to do the choices. We had to make the choices of like save Illyrio or or imprison Illyrio. But like I don't know.
I think we should end it on
In
that.
case anybody is wondering, Matt was doing some fun stuff with his arms, and Dano and I decided to mirror him in the most visual nonsense goof we've done on Squelch. And I think that is how we end the episode.
Once again, this is a podcast for us.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for your support. We'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.